to this genre of stationary cycling is something that we wanted to do literally for years before Peloton was even a thing.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Amber Nye. If you are new here, welcome. I am so happy to have you. If you are returning, thank you. I appreciate you being here watching and all your support. Just like it says in my intro, this channel is dedicated to anti-MLM education, just based on my own experiences of being in an MLM for 5 years. So all opinions and anything I say here they're all mine. Really the purpose of me doing this is just to pull the curtain back on these companies to show people how they really work, how the people who run them think, how they prey on vulnerable people. So people like you or your loved ones, other people you know aren't sucked in by these predatory companies, by the toxic positivity that they put out, and the false dreams that they try to sell. I had actually planned to film this video yesterday, and then in the afternoon, like, the news dropped, and I was like, oh my God, this like just fell into my lap at the most perfect time, because I was literally planning on filming on this subject as it was. So doing it now with all the new extra information. So let's just get right into it. Yesterday, Beachbody, who we all know and love, they announced that not only were they going from a private company to a now public company, which means they can now be traded on the New York Stock Exchange, but they have also invested into this mix cycling fitness company, so they can now create at-home spin cycle classes and programs to directly compete with Peloton. Now, first, what does this mean about the whole going public and the people being able to invest in Beachbody stock now? Now, I'm not like the expert on this. I just recently got into learning more about the stock market and everything like that. But as I understand it, it's really not going to change anything like on the coaching side or like within the company as a whole. This is just their attempt to seem like a more legitimate company. Because if you look at other MLMs who have went public, it really didn't change anything, like Avon, Mary Kay. This is just their attempt to, like I said, look like a more legit company, and to basically bring in more money for Carl Daikeler and all those top head honchos at the company. Let's get into the whole spin bike company that they have partnered with. This is where it really starts getting funny for me. So around Christmas time, they were promoting Autumn Calabrese's new program that was coming out, 9-week Control Freak. And they made the most ridiculous music video to promote this new program. And in it, they quite literally diss Peloton. They call Peloton out by name, basically saying Beachbody is better than Peloton because they don't do the trendy things. And I'm just going to play you a little snippet of that music video so you can see what exactly I'm talking about. I'm not going to put you through the whole thing because it's so cringy. Let us get into this.
And now for the world premiere of Control Freak.
girl on a spin bike.
Let's go. Better get ready, cause this shit's next level. Been going steady with that bass, no treble. Been feeling pretty on your Peloton pedal. But we gonna transform you to a workout rebel. Get freaky, 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 freaky. You know it ain't easy, 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 easy. You want that bitch body, 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 body. And now it's done. Time for more action, let's talk it. And you a freak, see a freak, and you know it.
So when I originally saw this, I died, okay? Like, I was literally on the floor. Like, I cannot believe they thought that this was like a great idea or a great song. That was barely even 2 months ago that they did that. They publicly dissed Peloton. And then with this announcement yesterday, I was gagged because I found it so hilarious that they said that they were better. They had a better system, a better program, basically, you know, because Peloton was the trendy thing. They don't do the trends. They, you know, they set the precedent for at-home fitness, yada, yada, yada. And then yesterday comes the announcement that they have partnered with Mix Fitness Company so they can start creating at-home spin classes. I had to start diving into research about this Mix company and how this is all going to work out. I went to check out the Mix Fitness Company first. I mean, the bike itself seems okay. There's two different options you can go with. There's the basic bike, which is just the Mix. That one is $12.99. If you do like a financing option or you pay monthly, it's $37 a month with a firm and an added extra $29 monthly membership. So it's coming out to probably around $70 a month. And then they have the Mix Plus option for the bike, which comes out to about $1,500. So, and again, they have financing options for that. That one is $42 a month on a firm with, again, the, the $29 a month membership for the app and to get, the access to all the programs and things like that. So, and this is Mix, Beachbody, and Open Fit. Now, you're going to have all of those things collective together. So the Open Fit programs, everything on Beachbody on demand, and then whatever the Mix Fitness already offers. Then see Autumn in her stories talking about all of this and how exciting it is. And now let's remember how not even 2 months ago, she was dissing Peloton and the hyping up her new program coming out. So let's just take a look at Autumn's stories really quick that she posted yesterday.
Good morning, you guys. Happy hump day. So today is big day. I don't know if you guys have heard yet, but there was some very big breaking news this morning with Beachbody. So exciting. So exciting. The news is that Beachbody is now going to be traded publicly, which is huge. It's going from being privately held for 23 years by Carl Daikeler, our CEO, and John Congdon, to being publicly owned and traded, which is so cool. So excited for Carl, for John, for the company, excited to be a part of it. And number two, Beachbody acquired an indoor cycling company, which is very exciting. I know not a lot of people know this, but right after Dominic was born, I was actually a certified indoor cycling trainer, and but I might have to re-up that certification now that we have our own indoor cycling company. So It's new beginnings. It's huge, you guys. It's so exciting. And I cannot wait to see what 2021 holds for Beachbody and for all of us. So.
When I tell you, I died. My soul left my body. I've been doing spin for about 2 years now. I originally started with Les Mills, doing their at-home spin classes, which were great option. Recently, in the last, since like the middle of December, I have been doing Peloton. And when I tell you the level of just professionalism and the way that the whole environment and the way that the community interacts with each other and how everything is structured, it is by far the superior at-home fitness company, because they not only have, you know, spin, they have strength classes, they have cardio, they have running, they have yoga, meditation, they have a lot of things to offer. It's just, you know, the cycling classes and the tread are what, you know, a lot of people just get into Peloton for, but there's so many things that they have to offer. And as someone who has done Beachbody workouts and who was a coach for 5 years, I can confidently say with 100% that there's nothing like Peloton and nothing will come close to it. And what I also thought was hilarious was that Autumn had to just throw in there that she used to be a spin instructor many years ago. Because she is Carl's bread and butter, I literally called it that. I mean, I'm telling you, in a year from now, once they get all of this stuff, all these new programs developed, she's going to be one of the instructors that are leading these new spin programs. Just watch. I guarantee you it's going to happen. When I had started out my spin journey with Les Mills, I was just, you know, waiting for the day that Beachbody would announce that they were trying to get into the at-home spin game. And here we are. This was literally just the icing on the cake of irony for me, and I really can't wait to see how all of this plays out, because let's take a look at the Mix Bike, the company that they partnered with, versus the Peloton. The Mix Bike, while it may be a little bit cheaper than Peloton, from what I have gathered from other people who looked into the bike, you know, trying to decide between that and Peloton, or, you know, maybe other spin bike companies and Peloton. Biggest factor is the Mix Bike only focuses on heart rate zones. It doesn't focus on cadence or strength. Whereas Peloton, you know, you're not only focusing on your heart rate, you're focusing on your speed, which is your cadence, your strength, which is your resistance levels, you know, to challenge yourself in these workouts. The metrics that Peloton gives you to track your progress are far superior than anything else. Now, I'm currently using just a $300 spin bike right now, and a cadence sensor that I got from Amazon, and I use the Peloton app. But after we move, it's my plan to get an actual Peloton, because I want those extra metrics that everyone else has, to really be able to gauge my progress and how, you know, I've been improving over time. Also, according to people who have the Mix Bike, the music is so-so and the instructors are so-so. Les Mills, like, the instructors were great, but like the music, it was all cover music. It was hard to get really kind of get into the music because they were all covers, or, you know, they were like instrumental kind of versions of songs. Kind of how Beachbody does now with their programs. They have terrible cover music in their workouts. And if you've done their workouts, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But as with Peloton, they have the licensing to have, you know, the actual songs. Yesterday, I did a Miley Cyrus ride that was basically her whole new Plastic Hearts album. It was fun as fuck. I had the best time. I worked up the best sweat. They have a Hamilton ride. I mean, they have Broadway. They have different artist series. I did a Britney Spears ride that was fantastic. This is what I mean when I say that there's literally no comparing to Peloton, because they really set the precedent for at-home spin fitness classes. From Facebook, I was talking with someone who has a mixed bike, and she enjoys it because you know, she would rather focus on her heart rate rather than, you know, like strength or cadence or something like that. But she said that customers from the mixed user group are already talking about how they can ditch the subscription because they don't like Beachbody. They don't like the MLM structure. They don't like the company in general because of how they promote toxic positivity and toxic diet culture. So already, you know, they have customers that they've had for a while who are like figuring out how to get out of this because they don't want anything to do with Beachbody. As I understand it, Beachbody is not going to be selling the bikes. The Mix company itself is still going to be a separate entity. This is basically a partnership. So it's pretty much like how when Beachbody teamed up with Les Mills, you know, like 5, 6, 7 years ago. So I am I'm still in the Beachbody Champions group. I totally forgot I was in this group. And it's a group that you had to be diamond or above to get into. And Carl and Michael Neiman did a Zoom call for the coaches to explain all of this exciting news. So I screen recorded a little bit of that. So let's listen to this really quick.
Carl, I want to jump for a second. A lot of questions about the bike and a lot of excitement about the bike. So maybe we can talk about, you know, a little bit about Mix and a little bit about how things will sort of, and even also Open Fit and how Mix and Open Fit and Beachbody will still operate separately, but Mix and Beachbody, you know, will operate kind of together, and Mix and Open Fit will operate together.
Yeah. So the important thing to do when you acquire a company is not break it. So Mix has done very well. They sold 27,000 bikes in their first year in business. So that's one of the reasons that they were attractive to us. We wanted to be able to provide a stationary cycling alternative or option that was reasonably priced to the overall Beachbody ecosystem, including OpenFit and including Beachbody. The Mix bike will operate by the same management as a brand, as a separate company. The bike will still say Mix on it. However, the tablet will have access to people who have a subscription to Beachbody On Demand, or who have a subscription to OpenFit. So again, we'll get into the details of how that opportunity will be shared with the coaches. But the big opportunity, quite frankly, is having a proprietary interest in this company. Owning Mix Fitness now gives Beachbody and Beachbody On Demand the rationale to create indoor cycling content. And that's what I'm so excited about, because that's where the money is. That's where the opportunity is. So it's kind of like you can own any computer, but access windows on it, right? So we want people who own any kind of bike to be able to enjoy Beachbody on demand. And then also our meal planning and our supplements. And in fact, this is going to create a great opportunity for coaches to bring anybody who owns any indoor bike into the ecosystem and create a group around stationary cycling.
Okay, so that part is very important. So they said basically they are hoping to be able to market this to anybody who has a spin bike at home, which is going to lead me to my next point here shortly.
Whether it's with the mixed bike or other bikes, and be able to do the content on their screen or on their TV or on their laptop or notebook, and then benefit from the total solution. So that's what I'm excited about. Obviously, working with the super trainers on what kind of content, how we can bring the unique Beachbody approach to content creation to this genre of stationary cycling is something that we've wanted to do literally for years before Peloton was even a thing.
Carl, okay, hold up. He said, been wanting to do this for years before Peloton was even a thing. Well, Peloton was founded in 2012 and the first bike was sold in 2013. So Carl, if you have had this idea to do this for 10 or more years, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it, Carl? Why? Why are you lying?
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop fucking lying.
We know, again, this is just Carl trying to show his coaches that he is so innovative and he is so ahead of the trends. But who's chasing the trends now? Who's the trend chaser? That would be you, Carl, and Beachbody. So let's continue.
But Mix provided a great gateway for us to do it in a way that would justify the major investment that we've got to make.
Yeah, and I will say, like, by the way, if you read reviews of Mix, it's really, a premier bike. It gets fantastic reviews. Mm-hmm. But one thing I do want to point out is that Beachbody will have unique content to support that bike. So it's not going to be the same cycling content on Open Fit and Beachbody.
It's going to be unique.
We'll be leveraging the same
It's going to be different.
The experience will be very different. So
and they kind of talk about the whole what it means for Beachbody to go public, how coaches will be able to invest and buy stocks. Like I said, I'm not the expert on that, so maybe someone else can explain that better than I can. But, as I said earlier, this is just them trying to, show the masses that they're not a pyramid scheme and they're a legit company or corporation, because corporations are the real pyramid schemes, right? Again, this just means more money for Carl Daikeler. Towards the end of this video, they get into compliance. So let's just take a little watch on that.
So how are things different? We talked about that the comp plan isn't changing. The other thing that isn't changing, but we want to make sure that we have even more diligence, is around compliance. We, I think, do a great job as coaches, as our compliance team, to manage compliance. It is really important that we follow our policies and procedures.
Really, they're really pushing that
more important now, because as we raise our exposure, there are going to be more people
to look more
us,
legitimate.
And it's critical that for all of us to be successful, we can't step over the line on compliance issues. So things like income disclaimers, products, claims, all of that. I know all of you have seen Mr. Gelfand's presentations at some point. We have to follow those. Jonathan, anything just to add there?
You said it beautifully. So please, now more than ever, help us, work with us, be eyes and ears for the field, be teachers, work with your teams up, down, sideways. We all have to work together. This is more important now than ever. Thank you, Michael. Okay.
Let me give you guys my insight on where I think this is going. So I don't think that Beachbody is going to be able to sell these bikes. And I don't think that the coaches will be able to get any sort of commission on them. I do think, though, they are going to push their coaches to buy the bikes themselves. You know, for me as a person, if I'm, dropping a couple $1,000s on a spin bike, I'm not going to want to be hassled and harassed to join somebody's downline, join their team, or be pushed to buy supplements or diet plans from them. I have this screen grab that someone sent me that really kind of reinforces that fact that the only people that are going to be buying the actual mixed bikes are going to be the coaches. So here's this lady here who says, I'm not a bike rider. I don't own a bike. Biking isn't my thing, but I do love my Beachbody workouts. And if bikes are the thing, I'll give it a go. Again, this is going to be another thing for these coaches to have to invest in and have to push, even if, spinning isn't their thing. It's not for everyone. They're going to push them to promote this, just like they do every single new program they put out, because that's how they grab new customers. That's how they reel people in. That's why they're putting out new programs, 3 times a year. It's how people get their Success Club points, is by promoting these new programs and selling challenge packs to new customers. I think that the only way that the coaches are going to be able to get any sort of commission on this is from the monthly subscription that people are going to pay. Just as they do with the Beachbody On Demand subscriptions, whether it be monthly, quarterly, or yearly. They're getting 20% commission on that. Really, that's not going to make you a bunch of money unless you have a whole bunch of customers, unless you have a whole bunch of people underneath you recruiting new customers every month. In the group, coaches were asking questions. I wonder if the price of streaming is going to go up. They said, this one was funny. Autumn talks enough. I don't want to hear her on the bike too. Which she's so pretentious. I can't stand her. Someone said, it's not going to work the same as Peloton because the mixed bike, as I said earlier, doesn't work on cadence and resistance. It's based on heart rate zones. Maybe there's going to be a way, but who knows? And, somebody else chimed in that said, yeah, there's no way a competitor's bike is going to work with it. It's going to be really interesting to see how all of this develops over time, what it's going to look like. It's going to be sad to see how many Beachbody coaches invest in a spin bike that they're not going to use. Because again, this is what makes it a pyramid scheme, you guys. The distributors, the coaches, the market partners, they are the customers, okay? Someone who is out there struggling but wants to, get healthy isn't going to have the money to drop for a $1,500 bike. It's just not going to work that way. I'm going to tell you that right now. I didn't know if spin was going to be my things. That's why I made sure to get a cheaper bike to make sure I enjoyed it first before I decide to invest in a Peloton. I'm going to continue to follow this as it develops. And you know what? Good luck, Beachbody, with finding a Olivia Amato, a Cody Rigsby, an Adrian, a Jess Sims, because the Peloton instructors are literally top notch. And I know they're gonna have Autumn teaching these classes. They might have Joel and Jericho teaching the spin classes as well, because they were part of Les Mills, which already had an established cycling program. Again, Beachbody is following the trends. They're trend chasers. They just, you know, they see how successful it's been and they want a piece of that pie. I see you, Carl. I see you. I know exactly how you're working. What do you guys think? Do you how do you think this is going to work? I think this is really going to hurt a lot more people, because it's just going to be a way for them to push the toxic diet culture anymore. Because I will say, you know, I've been on a 9-week streak of working out consistently at least 4 days a week with my Peloton workouts, and not once have I heard any of the instructors push a diet plan, push supplements of any kind, push any of that toxic diet culture that you need to lose weight or get skinny or anything like that. And that's what I really enjoy about Peloton. Also, they have, it was different pre-COVID, but now it's one-on-one. So it's just you and the instructor when you're on a ride or you're doing any other workout. I really enjoy the one-on-one, because having other people in the background and all the extra chit chat like Autumn does in all of her workouts, it's so distracting. With Peloton, in that one-on-one aspect, I can focus better. I have so much more fun. And like I said, overall, Peloton is the superior cycling company. They set the precedent for at-home cycling fitness, and it's going to be really hard for Beachbody to try to live up to that. This is all I have for you guys today. Let me know your thoughts, what you think about this. If you guys have anything you would like me to discuss, any Huns you come across in the wild that you would like me to react to, any personal stories that you would like to share about your experience with an MLM, I would be happy to do that. Here's all of my social media platforms that you can follow me on or DM me on. I would love to talk to you. Thank you so much for watching. And if you guys could like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm really working towards hitting 500 subscribers by the end of February. So any support and shares, anybody you can share this video with who you think would enjoy this or the rest of the content on my channel, I would so very much appreciate you. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you soon. Bye.